he'll be on his way. Oh no, it's just he has a lot of making up to do, but also that's just, I think he lost sight of a lot of things. I think we both did. I don't know if I want to try Chrissy. I know Brandon said he wants to try it, but I don't know if I want to go through this again. Thursday's appointment, she couldn't find a fetal heartbeat, any cardiac activity. She told us that we were miscarrying. Yesterday I went to the hospital, fake symptoms, and they said that it looks like I'm 6 weeks, there's no fetal activity, and that the possibility of me miscarrying is greater. Hi, Vivian. So since Thursday to Monday, we've known this type of information. It's really hard. It's okay. Hi, Valerie. Well, Emma, I faked symptoms in the ER to be seen. So she said, it looks like you are miscarrying. But I don't have any of those symptoms. So yeah, I'm supposed to follow up with an OBGYN. But there's really no answers to give. I could wait it out. It's a beautiful story. Brooke. Thank you, Mackenzie. I didn't have the evaluation today. My dumbass mislapsed judgment, and it's actually tomorrow from 9 to 12. So there's that. I'm so sorry, Hagen. So yeah, after it was like 8:40 when I realized that today's not my day. I was getting really just tired, so I just went back to sleep until now. My son. Thanks, Paulina. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to tell y'all. I like the advice and I like the hopefulness. And I've already talked to God and I'm putting, it in God's hands, but I don't really know what else to say. Maybe I just, this time around isn't for me. I'm under so much stress, and adding a baby to it could just, or maybe me and Brandon need to know each other better before we create a child together. I don't know. I just don't know. The ER doctor said that I was measuring 6 weeks. So I don't know if it stopped growing at 6 weeks, if I'm just earlier along, or that means today I'm 7 weeks, but I just don't know. I don't feel any symptoms except the good ones, like my breast hurts so bad still. I get hungry. I still pee a lot. I think I'm starting to feel nauseous, but that could just be stress and anxiety. I am hungry. And it sucks that I took all the food to his sister's house because, bitch, I did get an ultrasound. I don't know my HCG level. Hi, Riri. Yeah, it's a waiting game, Zoe. I'm so sorry, Stephanie. Yes, Alex the Great. I can move my ears without touching them. I'll do it for $5. Hi, Bianca. Hi, Zoe. I don't know if it's a sign. No, I'm not spotting. I don't know, because if it's anything, if I'm being honest with any of you guys, I'd rather have had, and I don't like to say this out loud because I love both of my children living and breathing, but I'd rather have lost those pregnancies so I didn't have to deal with those men, Kadrian especially. But I was gifted and granted two beautiful children, a girl and a boy. And unfortunately, I do have to, the fathers tag along for the rest of their life. If I had a choice, I'd rather deal with Brandon for the rest of my life than deal with Kadrian for the rest of my life. And that's like, I promise you. I promise you. And if that's not like honest enough, then I don't know what to tell y'all, because Kadrian was the devil in disguise. He still is. His sister comes on here. He has a random supporter of mine who be messaging me mentally ill. Like, if I had a choice, I'd rather choose Brandon to be stuck with than Kadrian. Kadrian literally sits here and says, well, if you don't talk to me, if you don't unblock the phone, he has someone else text me. If you don't unblock the jail phone, then I'm going to post the court documents publicly. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's my choice. Yeah, Messity. At the end of the day, they didn't cherry cheese me. There was no fetal activity. How is my BD while pregnant? Sorry, court. I know, but it's just the fact that Kadrian's trying to antagonize or intimidate me into talking to him, and I don't want to talk to him. But you said what did you say? How is your BD while you're pregnant? Well, Anthony, for starters, was a heavy user. He was an addict. I had to separate from him in my early pregnancy because he was still using, still running around being an addict. And then when his mom finally closed the door on him because he was just fucking up severely, I ran back to him and we went to New Hampshire. And then for those 3 months, I worked while he just sat around his grandma's house and sobered up. And then, I mean, she was very racist. I will give him that. He dealt with a lot of racism. I dealt with a lot of bullshit. She's an alcoholic. And then after she kicked us out, we came back to Texas. I was very early still. And I believe we were living in the hotels. And I think he started using again. So I left. And then that's when COVID hit. So my mom offered us a place both to live together while we prepared for the baby. And then after Amara was born, he went back and used again. And that was a vicious cycle of mental, emotional, and physical abuse for 4 years. And then I left Anthony when Amara was 2. Yeah, around 2. And I'm not saying that I was perfect. I mean, if you're around someone who uses, you lapse judgment. Well, then I ended up in Kadrian's hands. Not that I ended up in his hands, but I looked for a way out, but I didn't know the devil in disguise. So when I finally did see who Kadrian really was, it was a very scary, eye-opening situation. Kadrian doesn't use drugs. He smokes a little bit of the devil's lettuce, you know, like little marijuana. The marijuana. So Kadrian's rage and anger and abusive tactics is just straight off his, just straight off who he is. And that abuse was very, very scary. My daughter fell off one of the motel beds one day. And for some reason that triggered him. And I didn't yell. I didn't really talk shit to him. But he was right there by the motel door. Amara was on the bed closest to it. And I was standing in the middle of both beds because it was a 2-bedroom. And I'm like, and Amara fell back. And I'm like, she's going to fall. She's going to fall. And then I said, you know, why didn't you could have caught her? Why didn't you catch her? Or something like that. And I guess because I didn't catch her, he saw red and he took off on me, like threw me around. And then let's see. Oh, and then that was at the Red Roof. And then after I found out I was pregnant, let's see, it got worse. He was still fucking around with this white girl, Erin. And that's okay. I told him, we're not together, but if you, like, you make the choice. You can either be the father in this child's life and we can be together and do this together, or don't say nothing to me about what I do. I won't say nothing to you about what you do. And then so one day we moved hotels, and his homeboy Zay was in his ear talking about, oh, I heard, you know, Erin texting me and she said Amory was messaging her, asking her questions. So Kadrian got in my ear and he's like, why are you talking to Erin? What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even text Erin. I didn't say anything. And then that triggered him again and he saw red. And then we got into a screaming match, all while Zay, Angel, and my daughter were in the room. And then Kadrian, I think, either smacked me or threw me. Because honestly, all I remember is him going like this really hard. Like I was seeing stars. So I remember squeezing his balls, like for to save my life. And then when he let go, I let go, and then I ran over to my daughter out of instinct. And that's when Kadrian literally pointed a loaded pew-pew at me while Amara was behind me. So to put the story in perspective, I was pregnant with Elijah at that time. To put the story in perspective, and I'm so, like, I don't like to say this, but I had rather lost that pregnancy with Kadrian than have to go through this with Brandon, because at the end of the day, Brandon has sat here and apologized, looked me in my eyes, cried, broke down, and was like, that's not who I am. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm ashamed to look at you or show my face. Kadrian doesn't hold any accountability. Like, Anthony sure can say he holds himself accountable, but so much time has passed with me and Anthony, like, there's just no, like, it's not fresh anymore. But between Brandon and Kadrian, Brandon's an angel. He's a fucking saint. But it's also just holding yourself accountable. And Kadrian acts like he's never done me no wrong. So, moral of the story, it's a weird game that God plays. Like, yeah, maybe he just doesn't want to bring more children into this world that, you know, ultimately aren't in the best situations. But if he could see how my future is gonna go, because he's created my future, then it would have been great not to be stuck and tied to Kadrian. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I know you guys can't sit here and say you haven't seen a man get to that point, throw things, break things. Unfortunately, it's not the best man to be close to. But I've always grew up watching that, and it's not okay, and I don't want that for my kids. But as long as somebody can sit there and do the work and go to counseling and go to therapy and do this and do that. Nothing's new. I have therapy in about 30 minutes. I'm hungry. There's no food here. There's no baby in my stomach. And I'm trying to stay hopeful with the grace of God. But with the way things have turned out in my life, I would not blame God if he prevented me from having a baby. So there's that story for you. Well, my mom made the same fucking decision 3 times too, Ruth. So how about you mind your fucking business? Goddamn. Shut up. I'm so sorry, Chasey. I didn't know that. It's Zoom, Raylan. I go to therapy in about 30 minutes. So was it just a sac or was there a fetus? There was a yolk sac. My uterus looked good. There's just no fetal movement, Alicia. There's no fetal movement. Bitch, I'll put my whole fucking pussy on the internet. I do not give a fuck. Okay? Thank you. I'll fucking go get my feet black, dirty with mud and fucking walking shit and put it on the internet. I don't care. I don't know. There is no fetal. I mean, I don't know, Alicia. They said there's no fetal movement. They say I was 6 weeks. They said I was 6 weeks. And it looks like I was pretty early. But there's just no fetal movement. No heartbeat. No nothing. Thanks, Recan. Well, I don't know, Penelope. Should I just not be fucking? Should I just not hunch anymore? If God don't want me to have a baby, God's not going to give me a fucking baby. Well, it's a blessing that you stop talking. Wouldn't it be a blessing if you just shut the STFU talking to me on my live? What a blessing! Now y'all are gonna get me. Now petty Ams is coming out. See, I was being Amory. Now I'm being Ams. Okay? You don't want Ams on this fucking live. That's when we get bananaed. Okay? That was funny. Actually, Penelope, if anyone made me lose the baby, it was me, because I had a UTI for 21 fucking days and I didn't get treated, and then they gave me UTI medicine from the ER. So if anything, it was me that caused the pregnancy to stop. Thanks, dummy. Because if we're being honest, both my baby daddies, Amar's dad and Elijah's father, both threw me around the same fucking way, and those kids survived. No one's fucking perfect, and I'm not justifying these men's actions, but you're not going to sit here and fucking tell me somebody caused this when I've done worse. Thank you. Oh, wow, Penelope. How about you put your face on the screen? Do me that favor and let me see what you look like. Can you even have a baby? Does someone even want to give you a baby, Penelope? Can you please show me your face? Because now AMS is out, and y'all are going to piss me off. Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck the screen can see. Are you able to get blood work done? I had blood work at the ER, but my Medicaid hasn't taken effect, so until that happens, like, let's say it takes a month for my Medicaid to take effect. If my body still has not passed the miscarriage, then yeah, I have to go in and see what's going on. And maybe by then there will be a healthy baby. But it's honestly just a waiting game. Will my body pass naturally, or maybe a miracle will happen and a baby will form? I don't really know. I'm not sure. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if I miscarried. It's a waiting game. My body can tell me my body can miscarry. Oh, recant. Well, when I went in for my UTI, that was April 30th, and when they checked my urine, it said that I wasn't pregnant. So they prescribed me medication. I'm hoping they prescribed me medication just to be safe in case I did pop up pregnant during that week, because after I finished my medication for 5 days, I then took a pregnancy test and it was positive. So congratulations, Rican. I hope you have a beautiful, healthy pregnancy, girl. I have like a headache right here though. A lot of the time, like a lot of the symptoms just won't go away. Like if I'm not having a baby, hi Cheryl, if I'm not having a baby, like I would be grateful for the symptoms to like die down now. Like the boobs, the headache. And I'm just preparing myself for the worst. What's a UTI? A urinary tract infection. Is Penelope still in here? Penelope, since you wanted to be an insensitive prude, can you send me $20 so I can go to get a cheeseburger? Thank you. Congratulations, Kens. Thank you. What is your actual? Oh, just Google is for you. Does it hurt? Yes, it hurts when you pee. Oh, yeah. I'm trophy wife. You got money, babe. You're still in here, babe. Yes, of course. I'm actually dry begging you. You're the one with the money. Thank you. I'm not giving up. I've already... Oh, Shay. Sorry, Shay. And I'm not giving up. I've talked to God about it. Like I said, it's in God's hands. I can't do anything else. I can only be hopeful and realistic and, you know, accept whatever God's fate is for me. Elizabeth. Thank you, Alyssa. No, I want Trophy Wife to send it. I want Dirk's Trophy Wife. She's got the money, you guys. You actually look like a bitch that I know. And that's actually kind of sad. You look like one of those women that are just like, ugh. Sandra, baby daddy is at work. I think what's even more worse is having not an abortion baby daddy, but a miscarriage baby daddy. Bitch, I am the problem. I'm literally the fucking problem. All jokes aside, I just can't stick to one fucking man. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 different baby daddies. And only 2 living kids. Ain't that a bitch? I got on Zofran. Now I'm doing so much better. I've heard of Zofran. I have to log in pretty soon. Dude, I didn't clean up.